Have you ever gave somebody a task and then they just don't do it right and you're perplexed?
So here's the question. Are they not doing it right, or are they not doing it the way you want them to do it? So that's the big question, because when you set expectations, that's a whole conversation over here. But when you say, hey, and I think you may have been a part of this exercise in one of our former lives. You ask somebody to make a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. So they get the bread out, and then one of them does the peanut butter, and then the other does the jelly, and they put on top of each other. Hey, here you go, peanut butter and jelly sandwich, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the next kid comes in, he or she sits there, and they mix the peanut butter and jelly together. Just mix it up in a little bowl, and then they spread it on, because
And
that's
a
the way
monster does that.
their kids like it. So they put that on. Okay, still got a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. Next one comes in, does jelly first, because jelly should be on the top of your bread, because it hits the palate first. And she or he goes through this whole explanation, then cuts the crust off. You still got a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the point of the whole exercise that we did, and again, I don't know if you remember it, was setting the expectations of what you want, what you expect. Because we can tell people to make a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. You're going to get a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, but is it going to be the peanut butter and jelly sandwich that you wanted? So, the expectation piece, and kind of, I don't want to say telling or guiding certain people or team members towards a specific result, is the key there. So you want to say, hey, this is what I'm looking for. Because if you don't tell them exactly what you're looking for, exactly what your expectations are, there's going to be just a huge sense of confusion, misunderstanding, frustration. Well, you didn't tell me that. You didn't. You hear this a lot, right? The training. I wasn't trained right. What do you mean? You got the same stuff. Then that becomes a whole nother level of ambiguity when you talk about the expectations. Well, you told me to put the sticker on the mirror. Yeah, well, you put it on crooked. Yeah, but you didn't say how you want it. You just said put it on there. So, the expectations piece that's a whole nother level of issues that you can cause within your four walls. And then you end up getting frustrated as a leader, and then the employee or the team member is upset, and then it causes this, and then you get underperforming, you know, employees, and then you get turnover, and then it just snowballs, right? It just keeps going. So I think you and I at one point in our lives talked about the beginning, the onboarding. I mean, you have to set the expectations in the beginning, no matter what it is, whether it's how you want them to make a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, or what your expectations are as far as job performance, or whatever they're going to do.
Yeah. What I always did, and I don't even remember where I picked this up, but anytime I would train anybody, especially in restaurants, I would always make sure that they understood, like I even would say this, like the 4 P's of training. You've heard of that, right?
I don't think I have.
Okay, so it's prepare, present, practice, provide feedback. So whenever you're teaching somebody something, you want to make sure that you are prepared to do it. You're set up, you have everything you need. Then you show them, you let them practice, and then you give them feedback. And I always taught all my trainers to do that. And also they always thought I was crazy too, because I would tell you like if you're gonna go mop the floor in the dining room, I would tell you how to do it, and then I would tell you it should take you like 10 minutes. Like I would always give you like a time, like a time. So you're not taking forever to do something.
That's so funny you use that example, because we were talking with all these openings going on, and you tell the kids, hey, I need you to mop the floor before you leave, and you go out there, and they're literally just pushing the mop forward, and like, I am mopping the floor. Like, okay. So then you kind of giggle to yourself. And you're like, man, you see the TV shows with the jails where they teach them how to mop. They go in figure eights, back side to side, left to right. Like, man, you put these kids in jail for probably about a week. They'll definitely know how to mop then.
Yeah. When I was a general manager, and I had this one kid that worked for me, his name was Jerry, and he was told to go mop the floor in the dining room. And nobody gave him like a time. Like my shift leader had said, "Hey, we're closed. You go straighten up the dining room, like put the chairs up, mop," and then, you know, he had a bunch of other things to do. So we're in the office counting down the drawers and stuff, and we look on camera, and he's like doing all these spinning like karate moves and stuff in the dining room with the broom, and you're like, we went out there, we're like, Jerry, what are you doing? He's like, I'm mopping the floor. We're just like, where? Yeah, it was funny. I had to teach Jerry how to mop the floor. Like he didn't even have like a clean mop bucket. Like he just grabbed the bucket like out of the little mop bucket area. And he just grabbed it and just went out with whatever was in it. Like your floor is gonna be so sticky.
That's the same thing to be said about sweeping. You see them sweep everything to one little side and they get it in one big pile, then they sweep it all the way back to the other side into the dustpan. And you kind of look there and you kind of ask yourself, where's the logic there? Because you just put everything in a nice big pile over here, very easy. But then you want to sweep it all the way back over here to where the dustpan is. Like, I get it. You're sweeping. I told you to sweep. Whatever makes you happy. But again, your expectations. It's your timeline. Best recommendation is to do this, not this. So
Yeah, you have to be specific.
very,
And
especially nowadays.
even when it sounds silly, I think it's worth saying. I mean, I even do that with my kids. Like I will give them like times on how long it should take you to do something. And I always give them very specific instructions. I think that's probably because I worked in restaurants for so long.
Do you set a timer on the wall where you just hit the button and timer goes off? Poor kids are scrambling and like, mom's timer's going off.
I have set timers before, for real.
Oh, my sister sets timers for RJ and Allie. So I
Yeah.
mean, I get it.
No, they help. Like especially like I've one of my kids has pretty bad ADHD. So like squirrel runs by, like they're not on task anymore. So the timers help sometimes. Another thing I used to do when I was a restaurant manager is I would set things up just the way I wanted them, and then I would take a picture of it. And then I would post a picture and be like, this is the standard for the walk-in.
I was just going to say, we did that for coolers.
Yeah.
Absolutely had it nice and blown up and like a 3-gauge laminate and pop it right on the door. If it doesn't look like this when you walk out, then you need to go back in.
Yeah. Or cut your boxes up. You're killing me. I used to be crazy when I was a general manager. I would, we used to have liquor cages, and I would put all of the product in the liquor cage, like pretty much everything, and I would only pull out what they had on their product prep and they needed. So if they ran out, they'd have to tell me why.
Jeez.
And they'd have to show me on their sales why you need an extra bag of taco meat.
That's terrible.
No, it's not. It taught them a lot. How to read a product prep, how to look at their sales. It taught them how to portion. It taught them how to make sure they're not burning their food up on the line. It taught them to ring up everything that you eat.
That's different.
No, it's not. It makes a big picture clear.
I guess so.
does. You just have to do it with a nice attitude so don't sound mean. You just sound crazy.